West, where we tend to take very sacred subjects and bring them into an egotistical expression. We really need people like Alfonso de Rose to show us the truth, the love, the heart, and the beauty of the true connection that comes with sexuality, with truly sacred sexuality. I had the pleasure of speaking with a number of his students, and they told me how amazing his influence on their life has become, how he has assisted them in extraordinary transformation for knowing their true inner path and their true connection with the divine. So please make sure your cell phones are turned off. And we don't know who's listening these days, but perhaps they can learn something that'll be of value to them tonight, if they're still listening. There will be DVDs available of this workshop, and also I'm supposed to tell you that there will be post-workshops, very interesting workshops on Monday as well. So have a wonderful time.
Good evening. All right. Welcome. How you all feeling tonight? You know, look, we're talking about sex here. What's better to talk about? I mean, some of you might think, I want to talk about food. Food? Forget about food. Sex, folks. Now, sometimes you can put sex and food together. You know, I love to talk about sex. I believe that, sex is something that is very important to learn, to experience, and it's something that it's at the level that we are in the society, it's pretty much at the kindergarten level. People don't know much about sex, to nothing. In fact, if you see around there, we have so many divorces. How many people are divorced here? Okay, all right, good. How many people are single? Whoa! Well, I'm going to tell you something. One of the things I do, I put people together. So, and I'm a minister, so be careful. Because in 2 hours, I can already pull some people together and say, you have fear of intimacy, and you need a woman right now, so bam, let's do it, because you know what? Once you learn what I'm about to tell you, you're not going to waste your time anymore. That's what I learned. By the way, I just got married 2 weeks ago. Yeah. This is my divine partner. Holiness, yep. I love her so much. And guys, I tell you something, it was like dying. For me to decide to get married, it's like give up my freedom, give up so many different things. That's what I thought. What I did, it took me 2 months. I was 2 months in the jungle meditating on these decisions. Asking God, should I do it? You know, girls, they say, does he love me? does not love me. I was like, should I marry her? Or should I stay free for the rest of my life? Then I came home, and I grabbed, you know what? And I got down on my knees. I took it to the observatorium up in, what's it called? Griffith Park. I got down on my knees. In the moment at 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, get up. I said, where are we going? Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to go for breakfast. At 5 o'clock in the morning? Yes, go. Now, I didn't know that the sun was coming up at 7, so we had to wait 2 hours. And in the moment that the sun started to creep up, I went down on my knees. I asked her to marry her. I gave her a ring. Then I called her father. And I said, can I marry your daughter? And he said, yeah, his Vietnamese father. Yes, so whatever he said. And so now that I'm married, it's only 2 weeks, but I feel freer than before. I thought it was the end, be in prison, in a cage, be with a woman for the rest of my life. This is crazy. I feel freer than before. And sexually, I'm ready to go even deeper because I'm intending to have sex with this woman for the rest of our life. And by the way, there are many different kinds of sexuality here. You know, there are men that they like men, women that they like women. I like women. And there are also polyamory society and people that they like to experience different lovers at the same time, or they can fall in love with people. Polyamory means many amore in Italian. I'm from Italy, by the way. In Italian means love. Many lovers. For me, and that I'm talking for me, what it works for me is just basically with this ocean, she's my ocean, by the way, with this ocean, I want to grow spiritually with her. You see, and that's what sex is going to be about. It's not going to be just wake up in the morning, do a little bang to release some hormones or stress or something. It's like, hey, I want to find God with you because you are my ocean. I want to dive into you. And so to me, in order to grow in consciousness, because this is my journey, what it worked for me, but you folks, I respect you. I mean, by the way, I work with gay people, with lesbian. I can teach you gay sex, and I'm not gay. I can teach you lesbian sex, and I'm not a lesbian. Well, I'm a lesbian, actually, but I'm... So, and, but to me, what it worked for me, it's one person, to grow with one person, sexually, consciously. Not to mention that in one woman, there are 7 women. I know some women say, you know, typically women, you know, when you meet a woman, the first thing that she tells you, I'm not like the other women. I don't have this mood swings like other women, especially when I have the periods. I'm just like the usual woman as all the time. Yeah, right. Right? Then she gets angry, she gets cries. What's going on? You have a period? No, I'm not like other women. Okay. To me, one woman is more than enough. Since I married her, my hair is getting already white, maybe, because it's a lot. Anyways, my name is Alfonso Di Rose, for those people that don't know me. I've been living in this beautiful country for about 22 years. And that's the guy over there. That's me. That's what I looked like when I came here. I was a big bodybuilder. And I came here, and I call it, I was in the macho state of my life. And, you know, I was from Italy. And I'm from Italy. I had my gold chain. Now I have a rosary, so not much has changed, but I'm from Italy. And for some reason, I ended up living in Venice Beach. Now, I never smoked marijuana in my entire life. So in the moment I walked in Venice Beach, I started to get high. Because, you know, if you never smoke marijuana for your whole life, basically you smell it, and then you start to see things on the trees. Things started to change. But, you know, I was very much into my masculinity. Wow, guys, doesn't it feel good to be a man? My God, women, you know, experience, in one of your lifetimes, experience to be a man. Now, the only difference that it's better to be a woman because, wait what I'm about to tell you, but if you learn to have the orgasm, I'm going to go graphic right away, the orgasm the woman can have, then it's better to be a woman. However, to be a man, it's great. It feels so good to be a man. Wow, there is power, energy, juice to be a man. But what happens is, I was this guy from Italy, and I started to end up in Venice Beach. Venice weird, whatever you want to call it. I started to get high. Then I ended up like in dance classes. And my friends from Italy, they would have killed me right there. I said, what are you doing? You do ecstatic dance? Yes, and I love it. And I started to develop my feminine side. And I started to float. You know, I started to be one of those dudes, you know, just hang at the beach and say, yeah, like, life is good. And then started to date a girl and start to cry with her. and then I called that period the mind-building periods, you know. And then I gained weight because I kind of lost track of my life. I mean, coming here, it was difficult. Didn't speak the language. Things that were not easy. And on top of it, I became very girly. It's very soft. Very, hey, smoking marijuana all the time. Just going around Venice, my hair, they started to get long. I started to be very soft about talking things that are very, very important to develop the heart, the emotions. And it was great because it really helped me to develop my feminine side. Please, go ahead. We all have a masculine side and a feminine side, right? So when I was in my early 20s, or here I was 19 actually, I was very much in my masculinity, and I was suppressing my feminine side. Then here, can I say something? My balls, they went in my stomach because so I lost my balls. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. You know, I was crying. How you doing? Oh, things are not working in my life. You know, until one day, and I remember that day, what a beautiful day. I wake up in the morning, I went to Venice Beach, I look at the sunrise one more time, and I did something that was absolutely incredible and beautiful. You know what I did? What did I do? What do you think? I swam, forget about it. I grabbed my balls back. Yeah, I claimed them back. I said, balls, come back where you belong. And so, man, I said, I forgot what it's like to be a man. I grabbed my direction back in life, my purpose, my intention, my juice. But I was a different man because I developed also my femininity, my emotions. And so I started to bring a balance between my masculinity and my femininity. And I have a question here for the women right now. Have you noticed, women, that if you date a guy like this, actually, that's probably the guy that you cheat with. The bad boy kind of guy, right? So basically, if you date a guy like this, it's, you know, you might like it because you have a man next to you, but then you want a little more. But if you date a guy like here, it's great, it's soft, but then you say, I want to be dominated sometimes. I'm going to explain it with the word domination, yeah? Okay, let's not get around. Let me explain it. Let me warm you up into it before I use certain words. But when you're a guy that is a little too soft and is a little too much in the feminine, you're going to get bored eventually because you don't want to think about where to go for dinner. You don't want to think about what to do. Even in bed, sometimes you want someone that takes leadership, but has a soft heart. Yes or yes, women? Yes. And this is what nature is teaching us. Think about it. Think about the penis. Let's talk about the penis right away. Is that okay? Isn't the penis hard but soft at the same time? Right? You don't want it too soft, right? You don't want it too soft. But an ideal penis in certain situations, it's hard and soft at the same time. Now, there is a men revolution happening because men, We ban in Venice Beach. We smoke a ton of marijuana. We've done a lot of stuff. Now, now men, they just start to say, yeah, man, I love you, man. Because, you know, see, what's happening? Here, I only hang out with men. If you saw pictures of myself in my teens in Italy, we were all on the street, all guys. All guys. It was so good. When I moved to California, I only had girlfriends, but I didn't do anything bad with them. They were girlfriends. Like, what did you eat today? Oh, you know, lasagna wasn't that good. What are you wearing? I had girlfriends. So now what's happening, the new man revolution, and I tell you, this is very important that I'm going to describe it since I'm talking about me a little. I started to put these two guys together. You see, like I know how to be soft, to be sensitive. I know how to flow, but I also have a direction in my life. I have a purpose, I have a mission. I'm committed. When I say something, I do it. I don't sit in my bed thinking, what am I going to do? I take actions. But at the same time, and I want to say something, I love men. I love men. Because if men support each other, they become so powerful because there is a spiritual energy that only men can get together. In those days, men, they used to go to war. They used to get together, smelly, smell like a man. You know what a man? Men smell sometimes, right? The smell of a man. Wow, what a good smell. She's a real woman. She's a real woman. I just tell you a very story quickly. A friend of mine went to, he's half Pakistani. He went to Pakistan, and he went to a camp with bodyguards, to a camp where there were all the mujahideen, all men. Now, I'm American, I'm Italian, but I'm an American citizen. I love America, but so let me tell you the story. And so he said he was walking around, and there were all these people with a turban, with a long beard. You see the eyes. Brotherhood, manhood. He said everybody smelled like a bull. There was smell like the same smell, but there was such a brotherhood there. There was such a manhood there. And he said that one of the chief, this guy is a man's man, went to him, and he looked at him, and he said, don't touch this man. He's an American. He's an enemy, but don't touch him because he's a man. He's a brother. You see, there is something between men that we can be a different politics. We can be a different country, but we know the shit that we have to go through. Family, women, war. We're here to die, you know. And so that it's like, it's a gift. It's a really a spiritual gift. And, but when I came to California, you know, I kind of lost it, and then I gained it back, but as a better man. So women, I want to tell you something before I move forward. There is hope for you. Because I know what you're thinking in your mind. You hear say, yeah, you know, that would be nice, but, you know, I haven't found any man yet. They can take me to God. They can really know me. They can touch me right. Yeah, I mean, listen, there was this guy, I remember back when I was a teenager, this guy went to England from Italy. And at that time, you know, if you wanted to get laid in Italy, you would go to Sweden or to England. Because Italian girls, they're too Catholics. And so they wouldn't, you know, you would have to marry them or this and that. So this guy went to England, and he said, I had sex with this girl, and then what happened? Well, after an hour, she said, could you stop banging on my stomach? Yeah, because he didn't even know that he was not inside the vagina. He was on her stomach. And, you know, but you see, the truth, I mean, how many women here had an experience where your man said, I'm a great lover. I can take you in an orgasm in 2 seconds. I can do this and that. And then you spend half an hour, and just wonder, where is this orgasm that he's talking about? And he's touching you there, he's touching you here, and he's too rough. When he's tortured. How many women experience something like that? Okay, yeah. And some women, they haven't raised their hand because you probably have a man and they don't even know that they can touch you. Maybe you don't know, even you don't know that you can be touched in certain areas and find God. You see, so there is so much ignorance. What we're going to talk about tonight, basically, we're going to talk about not just about increasing consciousness, increasing love, but really resolve those issues of divorces, resolve those issues of singleness. It's time to make love. It's time to find a partner in life. It's time to grow in consciousness with a partner. It's time to understand what a woman feels and what a man feels, what a woman wants, what a man wants. Because, you know, again, going back to the lovemaking between men and women, most of the time, men, they think that what a woman feels is exactly what he feels. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And she's like, oh, what is this? It happens a lot. It's time to resolve those things, and communication, learning the difference, how it works, where it goes, how deep it can go. The journey is love. The journey is consciousness. At one point, you know, I don't know how deep I'm going to go today, but I might be graphic about certain things if you don't mind. I mean, I don't know. I'm a Catholic by birth, okay? And also, can I tell you something? Are you too a Catholic? Okay, so, you know, if I say something, you can go to confess Friday, you can go to the priest. I'm also a minister, so I can confess all you're saying and whatever you hear today. But you know, there is something like nothing more dangerous of what the church created and said, you know, get married, have sex, but they don't tell you how. And priests have a lot of sex. They can't marry. It's a different thing. But so, you know, if you go to the Vatican, you will find out a lot of truths there. But so, see, the truth is that there is no education about it, and people don't talk about it. I had some people on the booth come in, and they got one of my flyers, and they were looking at the flyers and said, please don't tell anybody. You know, there is nothing wrong with sex. That's how you came. That's why you were your parents that had pleasure. When, hopefully, him for sure, when you were born. And so there is absolutely nothing. But we need to understand a few things, basics. Let me finish about my story very quickly. So after the macho guy, then the girly guy, then I went into the heart builder, which was the beginning of changing. And then I called into the spiritual builder. And since this journey, I started to develop different workshops. I have about 15 different workshops because when I came, I was sleeping in a car. I had no money. I couldn't speak the language. And I really had to find a way to make it myself. This morning I was talking about miracles, making miracles in my life. And I have miracles. I live a great life. I travel the world. Now I'm married to my divine ocean. And life is absolutely beautiful. And one of the things that I incorporated, because since I teach workshops, week workshops in the jungle, we just came back from 60 days in Costa Rica where we did a very powerful meditation over there in silence. I incorporated the sexual journey now because, I mean, I think every guy, to a certain extent, is interested in sexual position, sex here, sex there, in a different way. But it wasn't really my interest. My interest is God. You see, I mean, I don't know. Can I say the word God? Because, you know, God and sex, some people say, you say God and sex at the same time? Yeah. I mean, if you don't put God with sex, I mean, it's poor sex. It's just like low kind of libido. Right? But you see, there are different reasons why people get together. One of the reasons why people get together is to have children. Now, to have children, you don't need to have pleasure for women. You don't need to have pleasure. In fact, because of the old society, they used to have what is called a quick bang. Basically, men, they have the capacity, because in the old days, they were all sleeping in one room. They were all being in one place. So men, they didn't know that it was important that when you have a sexual interaction with your woman, she needs to warm up. You see, the lady is the water, the man is the fire. A man, to have sex for a man, it takes 2 seconds. Oh, look at that butt. And that's it. But for a lady, it's not the same thing. The lady needs to be allured. See, guys, they're very visual about things. Women, they are more emotional about things. You see, so basically, in the old days, they used to have children. It used to be a quickie because they didn't have the time to spend. They need to go to war. It was just like a quick kind of thing. So men, they develop a way of having sex that is a little too quick just because they come from many, many years in the past. Now, some men, they develop, like, for example, precox ejaculations. Like, for example, they just sit next to a girl, and then you see a guy. And you say, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. The Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. Yeah. Because it's embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing. You just go, you're ready to have some kind of sexual interaction, and then the guy goes into Holy Spirit kind of mood, and then he doesn't feel to have sex anymore, so you want to keep going? I have an appointment. And you know who feels bad about that? She feels bad. Because she doesn't know that you actually were very aroused to her, because your ancestor used to do it so quickly that you're just like, you still have it in your brain, your reptilian brain to do that. So there are a lot of things that they need to really be adjusted and understood. Having children is not the reason to have sex unless you want to have children. But that is, see, having children is God's work. You just go with the flow if you intention. I mean, obviously, that's what you want to do. But some people, they only have sex to have children. That's pretty much what the church is teaching you. Then another reason why people, they get together to have sex is sociological. Like, for example, there are some women here that are in your 30s or 40s or 50s, you're not married. If you live in India, it's a sin. I mean, if you're 27 years old in India, you're not married, you're already too old, and there is something wrong with you. So how many Indians are here? Half India, okay, one over there. So you know that I'm right, Rebel over there. So, and you married the wrong guy because, you know, you had to marry because the society doesn't accept you. You're basically not a good woman if you don't get married. So some people, they just get together for those reasons. It's another bad reason to get together. Then there is an emotional reason to get together. And we'll start talking here because it's good. It's emotionally good to exchange some kind of emotion. I love you. I'm with you. We are together. We love each other. That is a good reason to start to get together and initiate a sexual relationship or initiate sex. That's actually fantastic. Then there is another reason, and it's yoga of sex. What does it mean, yoga of sex? It means that everybody has a masculine energy or a feminine energy. And so what happens is that they are compatible with each other, and you can exchange this energy to have a dance. They create a sexual life that is superior than just a typical two-body, you know, having a friction with each other, having a baby, or showing to your Indian family that you're doing something, that you have to have sex because you have to consummate your marriage. So there are some techniques, like in India they call it the Tantra or the Taoist techniques, where you learn how basically exchange energy with each other. They enhance the capacity to achieve higher state of consciousness with your lover. And that it's one of the beauty, and maybe we're going to talk about something like that today about it, but it's not just about the yoga of sex, it's love that goes into it, because you can have yoga or sex with someone that you're not in love with. You see, and it happens a lot, especially if guys, they learn those techniques. They go to a lady and say, I'm a tantric master, I can teach you some techniques. And she's just like thinking, she doesn't care about techniques, she doesn't care about tantra. Women don't care about tantra. Women care about love. Women, they want to be loved, they want to be chosen, they want to love. And this is the ultimate and the reason why people, they need to have sex. For love. I call it oneness. Oh my God, I can talk about oneness forever. It's for oneness. What does it mean, oneness? That there is the masculine and there is the feminine, and they need to be together to produce the light. And the light is what love looks like. And when they get together and they produce together and they practice this, there is a current of energy that goes with each other, that they produce light, which is love. And that's the beauty of making love, is to keep increasing the love. And we all have damage, from birth, from other sexual experience. We have problems because of this, because of that. And so we need to heal before we're able to have a healthy sexual life. And I'm going to go there in a few seconds. But first, I want to say that, so the reason is to have that love. And that love also, there are different kinds of that love. There is polarity. Like sometimes you might be attracted to somebody because you say, oh, I'm in love with that person. No, you're not in love with that person. You are attracted to that person because that person is the opposite of you. You will be attracted to the person that is the opposite of you. Like if you're a very masculine person, and you meet someone that is feminine equal in reverse, you will be attracted to each other. It's just the law of physics, and it's the law of nature. But don't confound this with love. You can be, I had for many years, she just died last year, I had a little miniature Pomeranian, and I tell you, I'm not a pervert, I don't go with dogs. But I can tell that she really liked me. She really, really, and I liked her because she was so feminine. I was walking on the street, and she just like walking like this with this little tiny Pomeranian, so feminine. And we got along so well. Sometimes I used to get jealous because when a man comes in my house, she's just way more happy than another woman because there is polarity. There is polarity with nature. There's the polarity with the ocean, and the polarity, they can be very dangerous, by the way. I had more polarity with my dog than certain women because my dog was way more feminine, because usually my kind of woman, it's a feminine kind of person, just because my nature is more masculine. And it's dangerous sometimes to have substitute energy or polarity, because that will keep you to enter into a loving relationship because you get what you want for something that, listen to this, that is safe. My dog was safe. You see? How many people has a dog here? Okay. All right. Okay, And I love dogs. And I'm not telling you to get rid of your dog. I love dogs. But just understand one thing, that dogs are safe. The ocean is not this ocean, but the ocean is safe. A lot of surfers. Have you noticed the surfers, they are very uncommittal? Why would they want to commit to one woman when every day they are into the ocean that is safe, it doesn't create troubles, and the ocean is the woman. The ocean is the changes of the woman. Every ways is different. Every day the ocean is different. Yes or yes? It's so incredibly alluring for a masculine person, so it's very difficult eventually to commit with somebody because it is safe. So one of the reasons why, and women, they get very attracted to energies that they have, and when I'm talking about women, there are women that have more masculine energy, and they might be attracted to more feminine energy. But if I use the word woman or man, I'm just talking about masculine and feminine energy. You might be a lesbian and have more masculine energy, so just taken in that way. But usually women, they have more feminine energy. They're attracted to something that has direction. They're attracted to something that has a certain way of dealing with life. They might like to be around New York, because New York, it looks like to be in a town with many penises. Have you noticed? So she might feel very protected, feel good, feels all this masculine energy around her. I know women that live in LA. LA is a very feminine city, believe it or not. They once in a while, they want to spend a week in New York. And it's very healing. Now, I know women that once in a while, they want to spend a week in Italy. Now, let me tell you about Italy. Is a feminine country, actually, because there is a lot of art. But one of the reasons is because in Italy, men, they actually look at you. See, they're not afraid to look at you because it's part of the culture. And as a flower that you all are, you need attention. I know that you've been hurt in the past. You got a negative attention, but attention is your food. Have you noticed when a flower, you don't give a flower to the water, what happens? Exactly. When a woman, she's married to somebody, and he gets up in the morning, it doesn't say anything to her. He goes straight to work, he goes to bed, 1 year after year, then she started to gain weight. She started to feel not good about herself. She keeps moving forward, and she starts to wither. Because why? Because she needs to hear how beautiful you are. You're the most beautiful. I chose you because you're the most beautiful. She needs to hear this. This is the food for, and it has to be real, obviously. And it's real because there is always something to find good about a woman, even if it's a toe. No, there is way more. I never saw an ugly woman in my entire life because the feminine energy cannot be ugly. So polarity is one of the reasons why people go together, but that is not love. Then there is romance or infatuation. What does it mean? It means that you might get attracted to somebody because you just say, you know, do I know you for a past life? It's something familiar. Now, listen to this. This can be a good thing, but it can be also a bad thing because the person that you say, you look familiar, can be your mommy. Aha! You know what I'm saying? So you say, I'm so in love. Oh, my God, I'm so in love. Yeah, because you're in love with your mommy. Or you're in love with your papi. You see, be careful in those romance and infatuations that they happen so quickly. You say, it's the love of my life. Oh, my God. And then you're making love. And then suddenly, Daddy. Oh, did I say Daddy? Because your unconscious mind starts to bring up really why you are there. What I'm saying is you need to do healing. Because everybody has, to a certain level, the Oedipal complex. So everybody is attracted to your mother, your father, because that's what you know in your life. That's what you anchor. The first time that you open your eyes and you see a man, you say, wow, that's my love. And I tell you something else that maybe you don't want to hear, but you know that unconsciously, every woman wants to make love with her father. Yes, because, you know, have you noticed that even if you have a good father, you still can't stand him. You still have some problems because you want more for him. It's never enough for the feminine. Never enough love, never enough beautiful, never enough wow, wow, wow. Woman, the women are called woman because got a wow man. You see? So we need to heal before to go to the reason of why we get together. The reason why we get together is oneness. Oneness. What does it mean, oneness? Touch God together. I mean, during the orgasm, what is the thing that you say most of the time? God, 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 God. You know, I know, see, like we're here at the Life Conscious Expo, for example. People don't want to hear about God. But you know what? I never heard a man or a woman that do an orgasm says, divine consciousness, divine consciousness. Come on. You know, I teach about seminars about, you know, receiving the power of the Holy Spirit and God. And people, I don't like the word God. Yeah, but, you know, that's not what your wife tells me. Come on, how sissy, sorry, but how sissy would it be to say, oh, divine consciousness. God, God. Because why? I mean, it's in the English. God means love. God means oneness. What does it mean, orgasm? It means to lose your mind. You know, they made study of the scan on the brain that when someone has an orgasm, that's why it's so beautiful, because you're no longer there in this moment. Now, I'm going to bring this a little later because this is something very difficult for a woman to achieve. Because women, they need to trust. Oh boy, we're going to go into that. Now, so I said that, yeah, I saw some women say, yes, I wish I trust men. They left me, they betrayed me. Well, I'll tell you later what you need to do about that, which is now becoming a lesbian, but I'll tell you later. Another thing that needs to happen in order to have the most oneness, first of all, you have to identify, your masculinity, and you have to identify your femininity. But another thing that needs to happen, oh my God, if you really get this, should I tell you? Okay, all right. One of the things, you need to be in touch with your light, right? With your light. You know, your light, your loving heart, your goodness, your tenderness. You want to be in touch with that. But another thing that you want to do, you want to get in touch with your darkness. Aha. With your darkness. But I have a news for you. If there is love in your darkness, it's not darkness, it's passion. It's dense energy. I mean, what is your name? Nan? Nancy. Oh, Nancy. Okay, good. I thought another Catholic named Nan. I'm sorry. Are you sure you're in the right place here? But let me ask you something, Nancy. If somebody tells you, I want to love you all night. I want to be with you all night. You're so cute. I'm going to snuggle with you. That's one scenario. Or somebody said, I'm going to take you, I'm going to throw you in bed, I'm going to twist you around, I'm going to suffocate you with love. Which one do you prefer? You see, one of the things that they are missing in the society is healing through the dark side. Because people are afraid. Now, if that dark side was abusive, and if you didn't trust me, obviously, I wouldn't go and teach about dark side in a penitentiary, right? I am teaching it at the live, hopefully conscious Expo, where it's okay. Why? Because a typical spiritual guy already learned how to be a good guy. We have so many Eckhart Tolles walking around. Have you ever, I love Eckhart Tolle, don't get me wrong, but have you ever been on a lecture with Eckhart Tolle? Biggest nap you can ever take in your life. But Eckhart Tolle is the light. Now, have you ever seen Scarface? Now, what would happen if you put the heart of Eckhart Tolle into Scarface? Aha, right? Same thing for women, by the way. Let me give you a scenario. I'm going to go back to you. What is your name? Charlie. I'm not good to play the woman, but, let's bear with me. Let's say that I'm going to Charlie and say, yes, Charlie, make love to me. So good to feel you. That's one scenario. Then another scenario. Yeah, Charlie, take me. Take me the way that man knows how to take me. I'm yours. Take me, I dare you to take me deep. Take me completely. I'm still a guy, okay? I'm still a guy. But what is more appealing? The second one, right? The second one was like a Mother Teresa heart. Are you attracted to Mother Teresa, by the way? I mean, would you have sex with her? Yeah, right. How about Cheryl Stone in Casino? Yeah. How about a Cheryl Stone with the heart of Mother Teresa? It's like, it's a woman that I can trust, that she's doing it with me, with everybody, and that she can touch. You see, the body's got the lower chakras, the higher chakras. If you don't use all your chakras in sexuality, eventually, you're going to get bored. You're going to get bored. Because you know what? Can you imagine Eckhart Tolle and Mother Teresa making love? That's a bad porn. That's really a bad one, right? So basically, what I'm saying is that you need to have a little juice in order to have the best love making, you need to have passion for each other. Passion for each other. You need to have passion. You need to have attraction. And the Mother Teresa technique and the Eckhart Tolle technique, it doesn't work unless you want to have pure massage. By the way, I'm not against massages, but there is massage and massage, right? So you need to have a little juice in life. You need to stop being afraid, because a lot of people, they're just afraid to say what they like, what they don't like, and they don't know how to let go. Sex, it's about let go. Love, it's about to let go. Let go. Be a wild animal. Let go completely. And then we can start to talk about sex. And then we can go deeper into the journey of sexuality. Now, for guys, I want to just say something for guys. What is very important in order to start to reconcile the things. And then I tell you about some techniques, perhaps. But there are a few things that guys, they need to have. Okay. First of all, they need to be decisive. Decisive. For the feminine, a guy that is decisive is a turn on. A guy that knows what he's doing, that makes a decision. And I'm not talking about decision in life. And by the way, you know the life is like the big woman. The way that a man deal with life, deal with his woman. They're exactly the same, completely changing, difference up and down. So basically, if you as a man, you wake up in the morning and say, I don't know how to make money. Life is tough. I'm depressed. I guarantee you're going to have erection problems. You know, I have people come to me all the time and say, my husband can't have an erection. And I say, well, there are two reasons why. One, because you're too much of Mother Teresa. Or because he lost his decisiveness. He lost his purpose. And he reflected on his penis. You can have erection until 90. Can you believe in Moses? Moses started his ministry when he was 80 years old. Wow! No wonder why there's people that used to have children in the 90s. Because they had still that mission, that purpose that is reflected on your penis. And for women, it's very important to know it gives a sense of protection. Because for the woman, it's very important to feel protected and to trust. Otherwise, the capacity to orgasm is going to be very limited. And most of the women don't know how to, they don't know themselves at all. They don't have any orgasm. They never had any orgasm. They're afraid of men. They are so shut down that it's a tremendous virus that it lives in the United States, and it's extremely dangerous. So for the guys, the first thing is decisiveness. The second thing, rely on yourself. Don't just go around with her all the time and ask her, should I do this, should I do that? Or ask the whole world about what women they like, men that they rely on themselves. Women, they like men that they have a relationship with God. Yes or yes, women? Exactly, because if he's a man that he's surrendered to God, then you can surrender to him. Because women, they like to surrender to the leadership of a man. Now, some women here, because you're coming from the woman revolution, you might debate me, but that's not true. And you know this very well, that you like to be taken, you like to be led, in the bedroom and the life. That doesn't mean that you want to be abused. That doesn't mean that you don't want to be treated in the right way, but you want to be taken, and you want a man that has self-reliance. The second thing, you want a man that when he says something, he's doing it. If you have a man that smokes cigarettes, and they say, Monday, I'm going to stop smoking, and he's still smoking, you're not going to trust him anymore. Right? You want a man. So those are the beginning. I teach some men seminars as well, but these are the beginning of the three things that is important for you as a woman to enter before you enter into a sexual, spiritual journey, because you need to feel safe. You need to feel that your man has some kind of integrity And it's okay for you to let go. Because if you don't let go, you cannot have the orgasm that can take you to a divine stage to experience yourself better. And guys, you know very well that women, sometimes you walk around, you see, there are a lot of angry women out there, and I have to tell you. I mean, and women, you know it yourself. You see like women going to the grocery store. Say, wow. Sometimes you go in a date with a girl. Very angry. You know why? They know why. I know why. Why? You can say it because you're a woman. Please say it.
Because they're not getting what they need from their man.
Exactly. What do they need for their man? They need a man to take control. They need a man to ravish them to God. And they also need to release their masculinity. And in order to release the masculinity, they really need to release it sexually. Because you know that woman orgasm has been accepted only in the past 60 years. I mean, do you know that women that were created for pleasure? I never saw a man with a clit. I mean, man, we have a penis. The penis is multi-use. With the penis, you can go and pee. You have sex, and you can go and think. But women, they have the clit. And the clit is only for pleasure. Only for pleasure. So women, God created you for pleasure. It's okay to have pleasure. It's okay to have pleasure. And in a sexual situation, there is always a giver and a receiver. And it's okay. I'm going to give you the permission for you women. It's okay to receive. It's okay to receive. But you see something for a woman, what is very important to understand, the women, they have a lot of chatters in their mind. What is he thinking? Did he notice the cellulite in my butt? Does my, how are we going to call it tonight? My little strawberry smell today? I'm just going to try to give you the juice here, okay? I'm going to go more graphic if you want a little later. But, see, guys just like seeing a woman and just like, whoa, yeah. And she's just like, my cellulite, my smell, I haven't shaved my arms, I'm not tall enough. I saw the blonde he was before. I need to go to dye my hair blonde. And so at the end, the guy is just making love, like touching it, doing everything. And she's just like, shh. No wonder it takes 10 hours for her to have an orgasm. Obviously, women are the water. Are the water. It takes time to boil water. It takes time to boil the water. You need to warm it up. And you don't start to warm it up. I'm going to give you a little foreplay since we slowly enter into the juice here. We're going to have a collective orgasm before we come out of here. But so what happens is that she does need to trust completely. You need to make her feel okay. You need to tell her, you know what, I like your smell. And even if you don't take shower, I love it. I mean it, by the way. I'm from Italy. We didn't grow up with perfumes everywhere. In Italy, don't shave the arms. I'm going to give you a bad joke. Can I give you a bad joke? Okay, so in Italy, they say the women, it's better not to shave under your arms. So instead to have one vagina, you have 3 vaginas. That's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. So, I'm going to put some humor in sexuality because then we're going to go into some deep, serious stuff. I'm going to make you cry. But so what happens, it's a bad Italian joke, okay? Come on, how many French people here? French people understand it. So, Napoleon used to say to his wife, do never take a shower when I come back because I want to smell you. Women use men that like smell. They like you the way that you are. They know what you look like, okay? I mean, it's like, don't think that he doesn't know what you look in your behind. Because there are some ladies that they have a sexual situation and they just know all the technique to. He knows what you look like. And, for those girls that are overweight here, don't worry about it. I mean, I love her, but I don't love her because she's Asian. Asian people, they lose. I don't love her. Men, they like to grab. So don't worry if you have a little extra pounds or something. Don't make love with your light clothes without the light, because men, they're visual. They need to see what you look like. They want to enjoy what you look like. So a little therapy with a woman is important to do before you go in a sexual relationship. You want to talk to her. You want to tell her, say, everything's going to be okay. I love you. Are perfect. You smell good. All women, my girlfriends in the past, they're nothing in comparison of the sexiness that I see right now. Wait, I have a technique to eradicate this. That's what I did with her. That's what I did with me. I eradicated all my past because I only want to think about her. Single-eyed on her, you see. But anyway, so you want to make it sure. You want to make sure that she's okay. You want to prevent. Oh my God! I have teach you so many techniques how to make a woman absolutely brain open for you to receive you, so she stopped the chattering. Because you can go for hours and she just doesn't feel anything because her mind keeps talking. Oh, if you have a little stomach, in the moment that it touches your hair, your breathing stops. I wonder, please go away, go away, go away. Oh, finally, yeah, my breast, it's okay. No, again, the stomach. Girls, you cannot make love like that. So for us guys, we really have to do a lot of therapy. You just have to make sure that the lady, she's ready for the experience of letting go, for the experience of letting God, for the experience of oneness. You want to make her feel okay, you want to talk to her, and you want to love her. And I want to say something, though. Women, they spot liars a mile away. You can be one of those guys that go to the pickup artists because, there are some places where they teach you how to pick up women, and so you see guys that they just go and say, oh, what sign are you? Yeah, it's compatible with mine. It's just, they know. And, sometimes you might find a needy woman that you just follow into, but most of the time, women, they know. So it's very good to be absolutely honest. In fact, if you want to take it to a place of completely surrendering, you want to make sure that you love her. Because guys, see, one thing about guys, they don't really mourn too long for the loss of a girlfriend. I mean, guys, they grieve a lot, but for a short time. Women, they grieve a lot, but for a long time. You see, so you want to just be careful into that way. However, so first you want to help her to completely let go of her mind so she completely surrender and be ready for the experience. Now, to have the sexual experience doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts way before. It starts 10 days before. What does it mean? You want to start to create the polarity in every single way possible. You want to create the sexual attraction in every single way as possible. So you might start 10 days earlier. You send a little text. I usually talk more for women, but today I'm going to talk a little more for men. Is that okay? So you start with a little text. You smell good today. You send a text, and then you start to be a little more graphic. By the way, I can't wait to see you. Women, they like things like that. They like to receive texts like this. They're busy, they're working, especially nowadays, the women, they're pretty much like Hillary Clinton, kind of working all the time. Can you imagine, you're just working, you tell men what to do all day long, you say, oh, there is a text going on. You just look at your text, your breast. It's my inspiration in life. Wow. I remember this woman, she was very masculine. And she was just like this, and that. Suddenly she was like this. What happened? The boyfriend texted her. So you want to start. Why you want to do that? Because she's the water. It takes time to make a broil. It takes a little time to make a broil. And so texts, a flower, whatever, before you get into that place. Because, you see, one of the problems, especially with guys, they are notoriously doing the same things over and over. Girls, what a guy do the first time they, usually every single time they have sex with you, he goes straight to the focal points. Have you noticed? Breast, vagina. Because, see, guys, they are narrow-minded, they are focused on one thing. So in the moment that they go and have a sexual experience with you, bam, right away. And you're just like, whoa, hold on, what are you doing here? Now you start with a text. You start with a little talking. You start with a little music. You put a little incense. You make it feel comfortable. Maybe you give her a massage. Oh, I have some massage techniques I want to tell you later. But so you're going to give her a little massage. You want to, oh boy, it's already 7. Okay, I'm going to get to the point, to the climax. So you want to give her a little massage. You want to give her a little massage. You want to make it feel relaxed. That's part of the foreplay. But here's the deal, guys. The most important thing is don't be predictable. Don't be predictable, because anticipation is the worst thing that you can do for the feminine. She knows what you do. You're going to put one hand on the left boobs, one hand on the right boobs, and then you take one hand out and you put it in the lower body. She knows what you're doing. She wants to surprise her. She wants you to do something new every single time. Every single time. We need to come out, and that's when we need to use our feminine sides. To be a little more creative, because sexuality is like painting. It's always different, but we cannot be so anticipatory. We need to do something different every single time, according to the energies. So there are a couple things really to start to do the foreplay. And people think the foreplay is about, hey, let's snuggle, let's just touching each other like this. That's boring, folks. Foreplay is the art of moving the energy 10 days before. I tell you why. Can I say this? Because you want to get it to surrender to you. Oh, I heard some breathing change in the room. What? Surrender to a man? Look, do you want to have an orgasm? Do you want to have what kind of orgasm you want to have? You want to have a fake orgasm? She's talking. Now, in order to do that, you want to surrender to your partner. You want to surrender. You want to get to a place and say, I'm yours. I belong to you. I give you everything I have. And in order for you to do that, you have to trust him. And you have to broil. Because your sexes, it takes time. It takes time to warm up. So it takes months sometimes. You know, if you find a woman that she's pretty cold because she never had an experience with a man, and she never trusted it, she's pretty close in the vagina, and maybe she had some traumas in the vaginas. A lot of women, they have all the traumas. You know, people go to the therapy. You don't need to go to the therapy. You need to open your vagina, because yes, all your problems, they are in your cervical. All the feminine stuff, it goes right inside the vagina. You see, so in order to heal it, the vagina needs the masculine energy. If you are a straight woman, you need the masculine energy, and that needs healing. Needs healing first. That's happened before the foreplay. You just want to do some healing there, some therapy, and I'll tell you later. But let's keep going on the foreplay. So you cannot be an anticipatory. That's a sin. To anticipate, she cannot anticipate what you're doing. I mean, sometimes, you know, you're just like in a rush. It's okay to do the same thing sometimes, but you need to the date. When me and my ocean, we date for 12 hours. And it's short. We start at 11 o'clock in the morning, and 11 o'clock at night is just like, already? Because we have so much fun together. I mean, we go up, we go down, we go right, we go left, we talk, we cry, well, we cannot say there's certain things, but you know, we go deep because it takes 12 hours. Not just it's a lot of fun for me, but for the feminine, she needs to warm up. She needs to broil. She needs to broil. But guys, they're already in fire, so it's just like, whoop. They want to go right away, so that's all we need to wait for her. Wait for her to broil. And don't anticipate anything. Every time different. She said, okay, he's going to touch me there. You touch him in the feet. Oh, boy. That's a new one. That feels good. So your feet feel so good. You know, whatever. I'm going to say some cheesy things, but, you know, you want to be in the moment, obviously. You don't want to get, like, the vocabulary and say, okay, I learned new words. Your feet are so cool. You don't want to do that. You want to feel your heart, obviously. Then another thing that you want to do, you want to be playful. There must be some playfulness in what you do. You can't be so tense. Say, I learned a new vaginal stimulation. You want to be relaxed. It's like playing the guitar or the drums, you know. I don't want to compare you to a guitar or drums, but you want to be a little relaxed. You want to be soft. Let go your Catholic guilt and just dance with each other. Take your time. Put some music. Put an incense. Clean your house. Light a candle. Create the atmosphere. Now, one of the ways that you know that she is getting to the place of warming up is probably her breathing. Women, when they are not really trusting, the breathing is very, for everybody, they start to close and the breathing is here. And you can see from the eyes that she's not present with you. She's thinking. So all you want to do is just keep bringing her into presence. Come here. It's not about your cellulite. Come here. Come here. Until she forgets where she is. She completely forgets. That's when she starts trusting you. Now, when she starts to trust you, because you have to understand that having superconscious sex, it's a mental, emotional, spiritual experience. So she needs to surrender to that place. As you do this for a guy, you enter into what I call dominance. I don't call it, it's called like this, but I'm just going to give it to you in a soft way because some of you might be very afraid to be dominated by a guy. But come on, women, I know what is your darkest, you know I can read minds, by the way, but your darkest thoughts is to be tied up and suffocated with love and pleasure. Where you can't come out, they put something around you, you're just like this, and a guy that loves you like crazy, and you just surrendering to it. And in order to do that, you want to have a man, if you like guys, because, you know, there might be lesbian here, but if you like guys, or even from a lesbian counterpart, you want to have a man that has got some quality or domineering experience in you. Sometimes you can have the opposite. I'm not saying that you have to do it all the time, but you know something? She's going to be a completely turned on. Her mind's going to be blurry, completely blurry, when she has a man that knows how to take charge. When there's a man that says, come with me, you lift her up, you bring her in bed, and she's already forgetting who she is. She's completely surrendered, and she's just ready to go to the next level. Obviously, you want to do this when she can trust you. You don't want to be a domineering when she doesn't trust men, when she's been raped when she was 15. I mean, most of the women, they have all those kind of issues, by the way, so you just want to be careful. And you want to go slow. You want to do a little therapy together. In fact, communication is the first step to enter into connection. Connection is the first step to enter into communion, which is oneness, which is the love that I was telling you about it. You see, so communication, what does it mean? You want to communicate with her. Is that okay here? Is that okay there? But only when she trusts you to a certain level, you start to communicate. Then you take action. You don't ask her, can I touch you here? That's not, women don't want to hear that. Is that okay here? I mean, you want to ask her, is this painful? Because the vagina is so complicated, especially the clitoris. The clitoris is so sensitive. The inside of the vagina, it's a little different because you have babies with the inside of the vagina. And so it's a little more, you can be a little rougher there with your fingers or, with something else. But with the clitoris, you're going to be very gentle with the clitoris. You want to have a nice manicure. Some girls, they just complain about it. Say, oh, my God, he's got long fingers and this and that. You want to be gentle. And in those moments, it's okay to have a communication and say, hey, what do you like? What do you feel here? Is it okay to do this? Is it okay to do that? Most of the people, I met couples that are married for 30 years, and they don't even know when his wife has an orgasm. By the way, to find out, I have so many techniques I want to tell you. And I want to tell you one thing. I'm going to bring this, unfortunately, I have to wrap it up in 10 minutes because it's so short. And when I start to talk, it takes me days and days to talk about different subjects. That's just the way that I am. But I'll give you as many tips as possible as we go into. There is another event tomorrow night, by the way. Maybe we can put it on a super conscious sex lecture. I'm going to go deeper in what I went today. And then we'll do a whole day for $149 if you guys decide to sign up today. And in the next Supernatural Sex is going to be February 22 at the Sheraton Hotel. I teach you how to find God through sex in a bigger way. I study it for consciousness, not for sexual pleasure. But so one of the ways to find out if a woman has an orgasm or not, you want to put your pinky finger, and girls don't get, it's the pinky fingers, okay? You want to put her pinky fingers in her butt. Because when she will have an orgasm, especially if she has a vaginal orgasm, it will close. It will tie up. And so basically, the pinky fingers, she will spit it out. So I know that you say, oh, now my priest wouldn't appreciate what you just said. But I'm just trying to stay as open as possible here. Because I don't know if there are different ladies here that they have different kind of orgasm. But by the way, tomorrow I'm going to talk more about male orgasm, how to bring, there are different kind of orgasm for men. And I haven't even talked about the women orgasm today much, so I might do it tomorrow because it's a big subject. I cannot just go into it like this. You need to be warm up about it. But see, again, like for example, women, they have different kind of orgasms. Now the clitoris, it's a very focused and local orgasm. But once she has an orgasm with the clitoris, the clitoris becomes very sensitive, and she probably doesn't want to have it again. Now, also the clitoris, it has almost like two tendons that they attach to the clitoris that go on the side like this. So if you want to start to stimulate the clitoris, I'm going to give you some tips here, okay, just very quickly. If you want to start to stimulate the clitoris, you want to start to stimulate those nerves that they are attached to the clitoris, that they start to bring it into that. And for men, they want to give you another little very quick tip. For men, that they love to give oral sex. Is it okay? I'm told you that we're going to go more into more specific stuff. And by the way, I'm a Christian preacher. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding, but you know something? I'm not small-minded. I believe in Christ, but I believe in love, and I am not ashamed to talk about clitoris. I am not ashamed to talk about orgasm. I am not ashamed of it because that's what God created it. And so if you want to give an oral sex to a woman, you know, one of the biggest mistakes that guys do, they lick. Like a dog. Right? Now, you have to understand, this might be, if you're homophobic, you know, but you have to think that the clitoris, what makes the difference, it's a small penis. It has a hood, just like an uncircumcised penis. And so what you want to do, oh, you're not going to like what I'm about to tell you guys, but what you're going to do, you're going to give a mini blowjob. Yeah, you want to just suck in very little. And even there, you want to ask her, because, you know, one thing I notice, every clit is different. Some women, they have a very small clit. It's almost like... It's just... Some women were bodybuilders in the past, and they took steroids, they have a penis. You know, so every clit is different, but every woman has the capacity to have an orgasm with a clitoris because the 8,000 nerve endings. In the penis, only 6,000. And can you imagine? The penis is like this. No, the penis is like this. And the clitoris is like this, right? So can you imagine the pleasure that she can have? But, you know, in my studies, I find out that even with the clitoris, I notice one thing. Women, when they have, some women, not all of them, when they have a pleasure with the clitoris, it's almost like, did you burp? What was that? Why? Because there's still so much guilt attached. Girls, your vagina needs to heal. Your vagina needs to trust and needs to heal. Guys, they're a little more advanced in that. Especially if you learn, I'll teach you some technique to have an amazing, amazing orgasm for guys too. Tomorrow I'll talk about the PC muscles and, you know, all the stuff, how to use it, how to have sex at any age, by the way. What is, can you go back to what I'm going to talk about tomorrow? What to do with men and women, how to use the PC muscles, sexual confidence for men and women, how to attract your divine partner, by the way. Have romance, love, and spiritual sex, what women want sexually, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to go so deep. But women, you need to heal the vagina. You need to heal the vagina. In fact, I will teach you how to have an orgasm that goes deeper. Some women, that happens naturally, but it's very unlikely nowadays because the vagina is so tense, it's so close. And they've been so many wounds from your mother, from your grandmothers that you carry into your blood. The vagina right now is just closed. And you enjoy having sex with your man just for the sake of having an emotional exchange, but you don't enjoy more sexually. And studies have been proven that women, they can be way more sexual than a man. They can have way more pleasure with a man. In fact, if you learn how to have, there are other two kinds of orgasm. There is the famous G-spot orgasm. I'll teach you how to find the G-spot in a woman. And then there is the cervical orgasm, which is even deeper when you start to have like some very spiritual experience. You cry as a woman, you trust. But it's a very spiritual experience. They take a lot. I mean, there are some people that they teach it in a very, you know, graphic way. You do this, you go right and left, you do abracadabra, you make it happen. It doesn't really work like that. You have to have a connection with her, and it might take months to heal her vagina. So very quickly, after you're doing the foreplay, you're going to go into healing. And I believe that every man, especially for men, but also for men, we need a woman to be our healer, but every man should be a sexual healer. Because if you send it to a sexual healer, because I don't do that, but some guys, they do that. You know, they help to heal your vagina, but you end up falling in love with your sexual healer. So you want to be man, you want to learn how to be a sexual healer, so she's going to fall in love with you, right? So it might take months because it's so tense. It's so tense. Now, when you have a G-spot orgasm, on the top of the G-spot, there are two little glands. They are exactly like is a prostate for a man. Now, when a man gets arousal, he starts to emanate a liquid. It's got some glucose in that. It's not sperm. It's a different liquid that is there to lubricate. And sometimes can be a lot, you know. You go out with a girl, you kiss her for 2 hours, and then you look at your underwear and says, they pee? Well, the same thing happened for her. When she has an orgasm, she can come. You know, so, and women nowadays, if they had that experience, they feel very embarrassed because, you know, I remember when I was a kid, you know, in Italy especially, the people lives with the parents, you know, forever until they get married. And so they have sex in the cars. You know, you go up in the hill in Florence if you've been there and you see all those cars, bam, 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 bam. Well, it's just people. And then, you know, what happened, you're just like with a girl or something, and then she leaves, and then you say, she peed on my car. It just happened naturally, but it's actually a beautiful, nice experience, and it can actually enhance the experience. Now, I just want to tell you very quickly that it comes out from the urethra, which is the place where she pees, but because the area where she actually has the pee, the vesicle, where the pees come out, it's closed, because when you're aroused sexually, it's closed, it's not pee. But in order for her to let go in that way, she needs to trust. She needs to trust. She needs to love you. She needs to trust. She needs to fall in love with you. She needs to trust. Now, before she can get to that level, and you stimulate in certain area that I will tell you, you want to do the healing, which it might take a little time. And, she might not know what is the healing. It might be a past life. Some people believe in that. It might be for other reasons, but she starts to cry. She feels pain. Those areas, they can be very painful for a woman because of the tension that she has. Can you imagine just the tension that we carry in our body? Like, for example, a woman that she's been hurt. They usually walk around like this. Men too, by the way, because they protect their heart. Can you imagine what's happening to the vagina? It's so tense. And then fibrosis they start to get there, gland, whatever. There is so much craziness in nowadays, especially happening in the vagina because the vagina needs to heal. Needs to heal completely. So it might take, you're going to put the incense and you talk to her and the first sexual experience, there should be less sex and more healing. So you want to talk to her. She started to cry. Say, what's going on if I touch you? I don't know. I feel pain. I feel this. I feel that. And really, she's processing. And it might take a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years. But eventually, you're going to enter to have a most incredible divine sex. Because when your woman, she stopped being here, but she started to have a complete, full body experience of sexuality, you actually start to have an incredible enlightened sex. But the healing needs to happen. The foreplay needs to happen. And her mind, the breathing, things that need to change, she needs to be relaxed. And for guys, we need to learn how to use our masculinity, our dominance, not just into the bedroom. They tell me not to talk about sex anymore. No, the time is over. Okay. So one question, if there is only, I have to leave right away, or we have 2 minutes? Okay, 1 minute, okay. One question?
Okay. One question.
Yeah.
How do you get him to be decisive again? Find a purpose when they get older?
Yes, that's a good question. Yes. How you get a man to be decisive again? You not tell him to be decisive because he's not going to listen to you. Somehow you're going to tell a friend of his to go and look him in the eyes and say, look, man, I want your balls. I want to feel your balls. I want to feel your heart. I want to feel your juice. And let's have a beer. I want to talk to you. You are pussy, not you. Okay? You are, because men, they need to hear this sometimes. You are wuss. You are pussy. You are disgusting. I want the man that I used to see. Just men that can understand this kind of talk. You understand? So get him in that way. Take him here one time. Bring me to divine sexuality. I show you how to do it. Okay, I give a very quick technique. Very quick technique for women to have any man do anything you want for him. Yeah, you have to use a little manipulation. I don't feel like driving today. My eyes can't see very well. I need somebody to drive me. I really don't feel good today. I need help. There is a beautiful girlfriend at that place.
A very independent woman, and they like having a very independent woman. They don't fall for that.
Well, you bring him here. I'm going to show you that because they're going to fall for that, but he's not going to fall for anything. Okay, but stop being dependent. Stop paying the bills. Just go in your nightgown today. Just say, I'm not going to pay the bills anymore. Stop doing the masculine things so you're going to get him back into his juice. Very quickly, and then we have to go. So tomorrow, I don't know how much that the Expo charge, but there is super conscious sex lecture. Monday night. Then let's go to supernatural sex. Do not miss this one. We offer for just the people that they came to the Life Conscious Expo for $149 only, all day. You learn all these techniques, and even one day is small. Make sure that you don't miss this because it's an opportunity. I will never do this again alive. I'll probably do it on the internet, but now I'm going to do it live. I'm going to give it for a price for a live. And when you do sex, it's better to learn it from aliveness. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a spiritual impartation. That is for free at 5 o'clock in the same here. I'm going to be back. The booth is 102. God bless you all. Happy sex life to all of you.